How do we understand time signatures? How do we know if a time signature is simple or compound? And what is the difference between them? And what about grouping? How do we know if notes or rests have been grouped correctly? In this video, I'm going to answer these questions. And to do that, I'm going to give you 3 essential truths that are so useful and yet so confusing for most students. You don't have to take any notes because I've created this PDF, which will be completely for free for you to download if you click the link below. The PDF includes explanations with practical examples, so what I'm saying today plus a little bit more. Links to shorts or videos if you want to discover more about something, and a quiz to test what you've learned or revised. To have the PDF, just click on the link below. You will join my email list and receive lots of ebooks, free cheat sheets, updates about my courses or products, and many teaching and learning resources. Shall we get started? So if you see these time signatures, so with 5 or 7 on the top, are they simple or compound? And what is simple and compound? Simple time signatures have 2 subdivisions. Compound time signatures have 3 subdivisions. But what are these subdivisions? They are subcounting between 2 big counts. So shorter steps between 2 bigger counts. So for example, if we want to count to 2, there will be 1, 2, 1, 2. But in fact, this counting includes subcountings. They usually are silent, but they help us organize things. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So because I'm just saying 2 subcounting steps, which is the number and the subcount, 1 and 2 and, what I am beating is a simple time. So for example, 2/4, 1 and 2 and. But if I add an extra step, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, then in this case, the time signature is compound because I've got 3 smaller steps between 2 counts. So 1 and 2 and is in fact 6/8 or 6/4 or 6/16. So in a compound time signature, we can only find multiples of 3 in the top number. So for example, 6, 9 or 12. But if we have anything else, including 3, the time signature is simple. So for example, 2/4 is simple, 4/4 is simple. So what is the answer to the question that I've asked you before? 5/4 or 7/4, are they simple or compound time signatures? Well, now you know it. They are simple. And they are divided by 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2 and 3 plus 4 or 4 plus 3. Now you know it. And what about grouping? How do we group things? Well, to group things correctly or to check if things have been grouped correctly, we need to check the time signature first. The grouping reflects the time signature. So for example, if it's 4/4, we need to have 4 crotchets, so 4 items. And usually when the upper number is even, we need to see 2 halves, 2 equal halves. So for example, 2 on a side, 2 crotchets on a side, and 2 crotchets on the other side. So we have 4. If we have 2/4 as a time signature, we need to see 1 crotchet and 1 crotchet, or anything equivalent to it. So we can have 2 quavers or 4 semiquavers on one side, and then anything equivalent to it on the other side. If we are in 5 or 7, well, in this case, we can group it 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 3 or 4 plus 3 and 3 plus 4, as I said before. Who decides this? The composer. So if you are the composer, you will decide this. It depends on lyrics, if there are lyrics. It depends on phrasing. It depends on the melody. It's a choice and it's completely free, and it can change throughout the same piece. Cool. So if we are in 3/4, for example, we need to see 3 crotchets. And in this case, because the top number is uneven, is odd, we cannot do 2 equal halves. We need to have 1, 2, and 3 things. In this case, crotchets. That said, can you tell me if this bar is correctly grouped? The answer is yes, it's correctly grouped because we have 2 minims on one side and 2 minims on the other side. I know I've used a not so common time signature. I did it on purpose though. Sorry. And what about the rests? How do we group rests? Okay, so usually we go for the longest rest possible, provided that the two halves are saved. So for example, in this case, in this bar, is this correct or not? What do you think? This is incorrect because we have 3 crotchets on one side with the rest and then 1 crotchet on the other side. So the 3 crotchets, they are not well balanced, and the 3 crotchets weight more than the crotchet itself on its own. So we need to make them square and they're 2 plus 2. So the right version of this bar would be a crotchet and a rest and then another rest on the other side. We could not put 2 crotchet rests on the other side because there's no need. Why to use 2 items when we can use just 1? We would save time, ink, and work, because this all comes down to the fact that there were writers or copyists doing all of that by hand. They didn't have printers or they didn't have scanning phones in the old times. So everything was work and so time and ink and so money. So composers needed to save money as much as possible. Wise people. So we can merge rests when we save the 2 halves. But what do we do when we have a time signature that is not made up of an even number on the top, but it's got an odd number? For example, 3/4. So in this case, we need to see 3 crotchets. So 1, 2, and 3. However, we can merge, and listen to this very carefully because everyone gets confused. When we have a rest occupying the first and second space, we can merge them together, and so we have a longer rest like this. When we have silence occupying the second and third place, we cannot merge them, so we have to keep them separately. So this bar is incorrect, but this bar is correct. I know, sorry, it's not my fault. I'm just reporting. If we are in compound time, you need to consider the 3 steps, the 3 subdivisions, 1 and, like 3/4. So for example, is this bar correctly grouped? Yes, because we have a rest in places 1 and 2, 1 and then the other and is occupied by a note. So all fine. Based on all that I said today now, can you tell me if this bar is correct? Write it in the comments below and I will tell you if you are right or not. So, how much did you learn today? I want to know it, so let me know it, write it down. I'm very curious. You might have known all of this and so this video was just a good revision. Let me know. Remember, whether you've learned or not, you might want to get my PDF so you have everything written down in a nice way and you can take the test and let me know your score. Click on the link below to get it absolutely for free. You might want to hear a little bit more about time signatures, counting and grouping, and in this case I'll recommend you to watch this longer video which has an entire ebook going with it. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next lesson. Bye!